If you're looking for a PC build that can deliver excellent performance for both 4K and 1440p resolution, and you have a budget of around $2,000, you came to the right place. I'm going to show you a PC build that's not only great for 4K and 1440p gaming, but also great for content creation, video editing, and also other tasks as streaming. And don't worry, if your budget is below $2,000, at the end of the video I will explain on how to make this PC cheaper without having to lose major performance, so it's more affordable for everyone that wants a high-end PC. Without further ado, let's start. First, we are going to go with the all black build. At the end, I will explain on how to make this build all white in case you want a different design. But first, we are starting with the all black one. I picked the i7-12700K. This is a 12-core processor, so it's going to be great for both gaming and content creation. And if you're just going to do gaming, there's no difference between the i7-12700K and let's say the i9-12900K. Now, there is a difference between this one and the Ryzen 7 5800X 3D, but that is going to be much more expensive, and if you pick that CPU you're going over budget. And let me tell you that the i7-12700K is all that you're going to need for both content creation and gaming. Unless you're really pushing the limits, I don't think you're going to notice any difference between this one and the i9. Now, the reason on why I picked the K version and I didn't pick the F version, it's because it comes with integrated graphics as well, and these integrated graphics will help you when it comes to video editing softwares, so it's really important for you not to pick the F version of this CPU. And because you get the K version, it's also unlocked and you can overclock it. Then for the CPU cooler, I picked the Enermax 360 all-in-one liquid cooler. This one is $90 and it's a no-brainer. You want to keep your i7 processor CPU as low as possible, so the CPU cooler is going to do that just fine. Then for the motherboard, I picked the ASRock 3690 Steel Legend Wi-Fi 6E ATX motherboard. This one, as the name says, it comes with Wi-Fi, and you want to get a 3690 motherboard mainly because you pick the K version for the i7, so you want a motherboard that's going to support the overclocking. On top of that, you get RGB, and if you're into content creation, you get great audio quality, and the price is actually really decent for a 3690 with Wi-Fi included at $185. Then for the memory kit, I picked the Team Guru T-Force Delta RGB 32GB of RAM 2x16 DDR4 3600MHz CL18 memory. This is all that you're going to need for both gaming and content creation. Now, if you want to do some heavy content creation, then you may want to consider 64 gigs, but for the most part, and most people won't need anything more than 32 gigs, and even for gaming 16 gigs is going to be enough. But because you're spending $2,000 on a gaming desktop, you want to have something that's also great for other tasks. And if you open a lot of tabs and you do a lot of multitasking, let's say you want to start streaming with high quality, 32 gigs, I'd say it's the sweet spot, especially at this price point. Then for the storage, I picked the Gigabyte Aorus Gen 4 2TB of NVMe SSD. Now, I always say that Gen 4 doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't make any sense when I'm talking about just gaming. If you want to transfer a bunch of files or you're doing video editing, Gen 4 SSD is going to make a difference, and that's why I picked this one. And on top of that, I picked 2TB because I think it's important for you to have enough storage for both your favorite games, but also some heavy files that you may download or videos that you may want to export at 4K, let's say. Those are really heavy, so 2TB is going to get the job done, and if you need more, you can always upgrade down the line. Then for the graphics card and the most important component for gaming, we have the RX 6900 XT. This one comes with 16 gigs of VRAM, and the price is excellent on this graphics card right now, $679. I know it's expensive, but if we compare it with Nvidia prices, trust me, it's not as expensive. You can get the 3080 if you want, but you're losing on gaming performance. But if you're a full-time content creator and gaming is not your main priority, then you may want to consider the 3080. Otherwise, if your main priority is gaming, the 6900 XT is going to be the best option for you right now. And if you want to see exactly how this performs at 1440p and 4K, I recommend you searching on YouTube the benchmarks for the i7-12700K RX 6900 XT combination. There are plenty of videos on YouTube, so search the benchmarks for your favorite games, compare the different settings and different resolutions for you to see if it's worth the buy or not. Remember that you will have all the parts listed down below in the description. Then for the case, I picked the Corsair IQ5000X RGB ATX mid-tower case. This one has already 3 fans included, and it's a really high quality case. You won't have any problems with the airflow, and it's on a massive discount right now. It used to be $185, which is a lot of money, and right now it's $120, which I think it's a decent price for what you get. And then you want to add one RGB exhaust fan from Corsair as well. Don't worry, you will have this extra extra fan down below in the description as well. And last but definitely not least, the power supply. I picked the FGA Supernova 1680 plus platinum power supply. I know this is a totally overkill even for this PC build, but the difference between this one and a 1200 watt 80 plus platinum power supply was around 30 bucks, and at that price point you wanna get this one instead because you get even more upgradability, and there's a rumor that new GPUs coming soon are really power hungry, so you wanna get at least a 1200 watt 80 plus platinum or 80 plus gold power supply. But for this particular build, 850 watt will be enough. However, like I just said, if you will upgrade this PC with a new GPU or CPU down the line, considering that you already have a high-end system here, you will need more wattage, so I think that this 1600 watt 80 plus platinum power supply makes a lot of sense for ages to come basically. And then for the old white version, the only things that I've changed is the CPU cooler to the same NRMax one, but white edition. Then same thing goes with the memory. I picked the Teamwork GeForce Delta but white RGB edition, and then the case I picked the Corsair iQ 4000X white edition with an extra exhaust fan that's white as well. Now the white version of this PC is going to cost you around 20 extra bucks at $1,998.28 by the time that I'm recording this video. Remember that if the price goes up, it's not my fault, it's a market changing every single day, but by the time that I'm recording this video, this PC is still under 2000 bucks, and you will have also this white build down below as well. Then, if you want to make this PC cheaper without losing much performance, I recommend you downgrading the storage to 2TB of SSD still, but a Gen 3 SSD is still super fast for gaming, and you won't notice any major difference unless you're doing some professional work. Then I downgraded the case to the Fantex Eclipse G360A. This one is still great for the airflow, you won't have any issues and you are saving more money. I've also changed the extra fan to a Fantex one to match the case fans. Then for the power supply, I downgraded to a 1300 80 plus gold certified power supply. Like I said before, it's only a 30 bucks difference, but here you're saving money, and to be honest with you, you won't notice any difference while gaming. This one is still upgradable. I just think that for a $30 difference, the 1600 watt worth the buy instead, but if you're not working with a $2000 budget, it makes sense to drop it down to a 1300 watt 80 plus gold, which is still a great power supply for future upgradability. And then for the CPU cooler, I downgraded to a 240 all-in-one liquid cooler, which is going to be just fine. You don't need a 360 all-in-one liquid cooler, even though it's recommended, but this 240 all-in-one liquid cooler from ID Cooling is going to keep it quiet and cool, maybe not as much as the other one, but nonetheless, you won't have any thermal issues with this one. And the total price for this particular build, it's $1,871, so you're saving around 100 to 120 bucks just by doing these downgrades, and you won't notice any difference in performance while gaming, so that's something to keep in mind. Now, if you're working with even a lower budget, I have a bunch of PC build videos for every single budget that I do recommend you watching, and if you want a Prebuilt PC instead because you don't want to build it by yourself, I will leave you my favorite Prebuilt PC video of the channel in the top right of the screen. And if you enjoyed and found this video helpful, leave a like and subscribe, but most importantly, hit that bell button so you get notified when I upload this type of content, which I do from 3 to 5 times a week. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for your support, and I will see you on the next one.